Hello students, I just want to talk to you about peer reviews very quickly here. So this is kind of a quick tutorial on peer reviews and how to do it for this particular assignment. Here we go. There's a great deal of research on peer reviews and like how it works and what's good practice, what's bad practice. And I'm going to go ahead and move forward to kind of tell you a little bit about that. So why do we need peer reviews anyways? It's part of our class objectives, so we have to do some kind of peer review. MacArthur and Cho in their research says that giving feedback of any kind leads to better writing. So it doesn't matter if you don't do this perfectly, it's still going to help. It helps students with critical reading because you're able to read your own papers better and you're also able to read other texts better, right, more critically. And then it helps develop a sense of audience, which you already know how important audience is to me. It means that you realize someone's reading your paper and you have to think about how they may interpret this paper, right? However, if you're like me, I am not always keen on peer reviews. I did not like doing them when I was a undergrad, and I can understand if you don't like to do it either. One of the reasons you struggle is because I think that you don't know how to read your own writing, how to evaluate it, and how to revise. And there's actual research that backs that up. A lot of times, I think in general, you just don't understand the revision process, so I'm hoping to give you a little bit more information on that. The thing about revision is that it's more than just grammar and punctuation. It's not just the length of the paper. It's about really looking at your paper and finding out how to make it the most communicable, right? The most intelligible paper that you can. And like it says in the little right here, if you look, that it says that revision is examining mismatches between a student's intended meaning and its actual meaning. And that's really where this is supposed to help you guys be better writers. One thing I can always do better is by clarifying the criteria. What in the world are you looking for? I think a lot of us don't know what we're looking for when we're doing peer reviews, and I'm going to try to make that a lot more clear and easy for you. Also, often it's just too many criteria, so I'm going to try to cut it down, make it a little smaller as well. So how do we make this a little bit more effective or at least less painful? I'm going to clarify the criteria. That's why I make you guys do norming all the time. I'm going to narrow it down so that you're not doing entire papers. I'm going to practice and model with you guys. And hopefully you guys will realize that the writing process isn't ever just over. Hemingway, you know, misogynist that he was and all of the things, he still was a great writer. And to the end of his life, he still felt like he wanted to revise some of his works. So I always figure if revision was good enough for him, it's probably good enough for me too, right? And another way that I'm going to make your peer reviews better and your writing better is adding those self-reflections, okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at the criteria. So we are going to go ahead and look at the criteria. I'm here on the assignment, and the assignment is a topic sentence about identity, and then we're going to actually peer review that together. If you look here, it's our class-determined criteria. You are supposed to actually write in this box any other criteria that you can think of, but I have done this before class even begins, so I'm going to go ahead and use these. So some of the criteria for a good topic sentence after we read paragraphs, yes, there are no rules, but, right? So you read through those and then come up with some of the criteria. The sentence is clear. The sentence clearly states the topic of the paragraph. The sentence uses relatively correct grammar and punctuation. The sentence is in a logical place in the paragraph, usually the first sentence. So those are some of the criteria that I would assume for a topic sentence, okay? So let's go ahead. So here's a topic sentence that I wrote, an example, and I put my language is part of my identity in that it affects who I am and what I do. So I'm actually going to take this topic sentence and I'm going to post it as a reply on our class discussion. Here I am on our class discussion, and I'm going to write down my topic sentence. My language is part of my identity and that it affects who I am and what I do. So a reader would expect that I'm going to talk about how identity affects who I am, my actual, the way that I am, and what I do, the things that I do and how I act in life. Okay, so for peer reviews, right, when we move forward to the peer reviews, what you're going to do is you're going to make sure you know the criteria, right? After we have read through all of this information, we write down our criteria, and then I created some badges for you. So you're going to read the assigned topic sentence that you have, and then you're going to look at the badges below and decide which one works. So is this sentence clear and easy to read? Let's see. I think it is, but I don't think it's necessarily the clearest topic sentence. I think it can be a little bit vague. So I'm probably not going to award that badge to the person. Is it a good idea that clearly states a topic? I think it's a good idea. So what you're going to do is you're going to right click, press copy image, and you're going to click reply and paste that in there. And there is the badge that you awarded. I'm going to come back up here and see this connects with me. And I can look at it and I can say, does this connect with me, this topic sentence? Well, it does connect with me because it's my topic sentence. So I'm going to go ahead and say yes. So I'm going to right click over the badge, copy the image, and I'm going to just stick it right in here, paste, right next to it. So these are two badges. And I'll go up and look at the other badge, creativity. This topic sentence meets criteria and synthesizes information, but it still thinks beyond and outside the box. So it's taking sort of the criteria, puts all the things together, but it's still a little bit interesting. I'm going to say it's not the most creative topic sentence, so I'm going to only award these two badges. Then, if you want to make a comment afterwards, you can, but you are not required to do so. I want you guys to have the freedom to give those positive awards to the topic or to the topic sentence, and then decide to put whatever else that you want. And I would say, you know, this is a good topic sentence, but it still might be a little vague. When you say it affects who you are. And even better would be if I maybe provided some kind of suggestion for the student or something like that. You want to say, in all, this is a great idea. So I want you to be very positive. If possible, be very positive. Let the students know what they did well. Now, come up here. If there is nothing, you're like, none of these work, then, you know, just decide one of them that's the closest, because you don't want anybody going with no badges at all. And then you can always add a little caveat or a little explanation afterwards saying, yeah, it is a strong idea, but I would suggest that you do something like this. Hopefully, this helps you, and then you're going to click post reply. This helps you get an idea of how I expect for you to do peer reviews in this class. I'm going to always try to have some kind of badges so that you understand the criteria clearly, and everyone is going to understand their criteria because they see the badges right on there underneath their post. Okay? All right, with that, I hope that helps. I'm sorry this video is a little long. Maybe you can watch it in double time. I will see you guys online.